Welcome to Reddit Confessions.
I found out my wife was cheating through a secret OnlyFans, and I turned her double life into a public scandal. My name is Noah Carson. I'm 34, a paralegal at a small but busy law firm downtown. Quiet. Methodical. I believe in justice, even when I have to deliver it myself. Kayla, my wife, is 29. Stunning in a way that turns heads without trying. Ex-bartender. Restless. She laughs easily, but not always honestly. At home, she drifts from hobby to hobby, always chasing something. We live in a small 2-bedroom apartment filled with clutter, tripods, ring lights, props she never explains. No kids, just routines. Monday takeout, Friday wine, Sunday laundry. Normal. Mostly. Until that receipt. I wasn't looking for proof, just printer paper. Instead, I found a $580 charge for photo equipment. That one line on the receipt started everything. It was buried in a pile of Amazon orders on our shared Prime account. A roll of paper towels, dog treats, a vibrating tripod. That one made me stop. And then, the camera lens. The lighting kit. $580, shipped to a locker downtown. I stood there, printer drawer still open, receipt in my hand, stomach turning with that weird cold clarity you get when your gut catches up to what your brain has been ignoring. Kayla was in the kitchen when I walked back in, humming to herself while she sliced avocado. Barefoot, hair tied up, wearing my old university hoodie like it was still hers to wear. She looked up and smiled. "What's up?" I held up the receipt. "Did you buy camera gear?" She didn't flinch. That hurt more than I expected. "Oh," she said, wiping her hands on a dish towel. "Noah, it was for Alicia. She's starting a photography side hustle. She used my account to get the shipping discount. I told her to Venmo me. I think she did already." She said it so casually, like she'd practiced. Maybe she had. "Okay," I said, and watched her a moment longer. Her eyes held mine just long enough. Then back to the avocado. She sprinkled it with chili flakes like this was just another morning. And maybe it was. For her. Alicia was real. A hairstylist Kayla met at her old bartending job. Loud, chaotic, always texting her at 2 a.m. But Alicia didn't do photography. She posted grainy mirror selfies on her stories and once tried to sell eyelashes through Instagram. Not exactly lighting kit material. Still, I said nothing else. I wanted to believe her. Because that's what marriage is, right? You believe the person standing in front of you. Until you can't. That night, while Kayla showered, I checked her email. I know. Not proud. But if you're reading this, you understand. It starts small. You go looking for peace of mind. For confirmation that you're just being paranoid. I didn't find peace. She had 2 accounts. One I knew about. One I didn't. The second one was almost identical, just with an extra period in the address. Clever. It was still logged in. Inbox nearly empty. Trash bin cleared. But in the sent folder, one draft remained. A Dropbox link. Shared to someone named Marcus. C87. I clicked it. And that's how I found her Dropbox. She forgot to log out. There were 247 files. None of them were work documents. The Dropbox folder was called Taxes 2021. Innocent enough. Clever, even. It sat quietly in the middle of other decoy folders. Receipts. Budget _2020. Client shots. But the moment I opened it, the truth slapped me like a cold wave to the chest. Thumbnails filled the screen. Her face. Her body. Bent. Arched. Lit from soft angles like a professional shoot. Like porn, but prettier. Romantic in a way that made it worse. She wasn't just posing. She was performing. For someone else. Some of the videos had watermarks. OnlyFans. com/Kayla Lux. I stared at that username. Frozen. She had an entire alias. A second life. While I was coming home late from the office, reheating leftovers and folding laundry, she was slipping into lingerie and becoming someone else for the internet. The outfits were ones I'd never seen in person. A red silk robe with nothing underneath. Leather corset. Schoolgirl skirt. Even a nurse costume, which stung more than I wanted to admit. My sister's a nurse. She looked happy, confident, alive in a way she rarely was around me anymore. Some of the videos were solo. Others had a man's voice in the background. Yeah, just like that. Good girl. I muted the volume immediately. But it didn't matter. My mind had already started connecting dots I didn't want to see. The changes in her. The late-night showers. The sudden obsession with skincare and lighting. The work stress that always ended with a glass of wine and a locked bedroom door. I clicked a file titled private_custom_March. MP4. It took 10 seconds before I heard it. Her voice. Soft, breathy. Whispering someone else's name. Marcus. Oh my God. Marcus. Not mine. Not once in any of those videos did she say my name. I sat back in my chair, staring at the screen, the room dead silent except for the quiet hum of the fridge. Marcus. Who the hell was Marcus? I started digging. Not in her emails. Not yet. I wasn't ready for that spiral. Instead, I clicked through more folders. Looked at metadata. File names. Anything that might give me a clue. Some were labeled with dates. Timestamps. A few were marked GR87_custom and VIN, like she had clients. Regulars. And then I saw it. A chat log saved as a text file. Just a snippet, maybe copied for safekeeping. Ghostwriter87. You're mine tonight, K. No distractions. Kayla Lux. Always, baby. Marcus doesn't exist when I'm with you. I felt my jaw tighten. So he did exist. He wasn't just a name. He was real. And now, I had one. Marcus. But what broke me wasn't the content. It was the name she moaned. Marcus. Not mine. Never mine again. Work's been brutal lately, she sighed, sliding into bed after midnight. She smelled like coconut shampoo and something synthetic. Cheap perfume maybe, one she never wore around me. Her makeup was off, but I could see the faint smudges under her eyes, mascara clinging to the corners like secrets she hadn't washed away. I rolled over and looked at her. You all right? She didn't hesitate, just exhausted. We had a last-minute revision on a client project. Alicia's been flaking again. I had to cover. Alicia, her new scapegoat. Didn't you say you fired Alicia 2 weeks ago? There was a half-second pause. Blink and you miss it. Then she laughed, soft and tired. Yeah, but I needed the help. We worked something out. Just temporary. Lies, dressed in bathrobes and soft giggles. I didn't push. I just nodded and mumbled something like, get some rest. She curled up next to me, resting her head on my shoulder like nothing had changed. But everything had. She didn't know I had seen it all. The videos. The chat logs. The Dropbox full of performances. The name she moaned for a stranger. Marcus. And now, I had to know more. The next morning, while she was in the shower, I sat on the living room floor with my laptop. New browser. Private mode. Clean slate. I created a new email. Caleb. Sanderson. I gave him a backstory. Old money. Real estate investments. Recently divorced and looking for a connection. Then I made an OnlyFans account. Subscribed to her. To my wife. The screen loaded slowly. Anticipation twisted my stomach into knots. When it finally appeared, I saw the banner image first. Her in the red robe, one hand tugging the sash, lips parted. Below that, her bio. Kayla Lux, smiling face with horns, your sweetest escape. DMs open. Tips welcomed. Customs on request. Let's play. Heart rate spiked. I clicked through the posts. Some were older, the same ones from the Dropbox. But others were new. Ones I hadn't seen. One from just 2 days ago, titled, Missing My Favorite Man. You know who you are. It wasn't me. The comments were full of usernames. Thirsty, desperate men throwing tips and emojis. And one that showed up again and again. Ghostwriter87. He tipped $100 on nearly every post. Commented things like, she's mine, boys, and you don't get to see the real K. I do. I scrolled faster. Found a locked post. $50 to unlock. Exclusive custom for my ghost. I paid it. And watched her pretend to be in love with another man. Watched her giggle and say, this one's just for you, baby. You make me feel things no one else does. I watched her lie. To him. To me. To herself. That night, she came home late again. Sorry, she said breathlessly, like she'd been running. Alicia needed a ride. I looked up from my book. Sure. Everything all right? Yeah, she smiled. Just tired. I nodded. And in my head, I was already writing the next message to her. From Caleb. To Kayla Lux. Hey gorgeous. I loved your last custom. How much for a private meet? She replied an hour later. $1,000. No strings. One night. Ghostwriter87 just tipped $200. Want a custom? She wrote. I watched her type that message in real time, my burner account logged in, the screen pulsing with anticipation. She didn't know it was me. She thought I was Caleb Sanderson, rich, lonely, bored. A man willing to spend thousands just to feel wanted for a night. I replied quickly, yes, but I want something special, something no one else gets. Her response came fast. What do you have in mind, baby? Smiling face with hard eyes. God, that emoji. She used to send that to me. I kept it vague, flirty, suggestive. Told her I liked control. Told her I wanted her to say my name on camera. Told her I wanted her to tell me I owned her. She didn't hesitate. $300 tip, and I'll moan it like a prayer. And just like that, the game had changed. She wasn't Kayla anymore. She was Kayla Lux. And Kayla Lux would do anything for a big enough tip. I sent the money. 2 hours later, I got a message. Uploading now. Just for you. I even wore that little red number you said you liked. She didn't know it used to hang in our closet. I clicked the file. Watched her perform for a man she thought was a stranger. Heard her say my fake name. Heard her say things she never once said to me. Then came the message that froze everything. I offer private meets. If you're interested. No strings. $1,000, one night. Discreet. DM me. I didn't answer right away. I stared at the blinking cursor. Her last message sitting there like a loaded weapon. Private meets. So this was more than online. More than fantasy. She was selling herself in real life. For cash. For him. For anyone who paid enough. I closed the laptop slowly, my hands trembling. That night at dinner, she sat across from me, legs crossed, sipping wine like she wasn't living a double life. You look tired, she said. Long day at work. I looked at her lips. The same ones I'd just watched say my fake name. Yeah, I said. Long day. Lot of emails. She laughed. Tell me about it. My inbox is drowning. I smiled. Because I already knew what was in her inbox. Later that night, after she fell asleep, I opened my burner account again. Sent a new message. I want to meet. Name the place. She responded within 10 minutes. Downtown. Thursday. 9 p.m. I'll wear black lace. No strings. She wore the black lace dress I bought for our anniversary. Tight. Backless. The one she swore was too fancy to wear out. She wore it tonight. For another man. For Marcus. For $1,000 and a night of no strings. I watched from across the street, hidden in the shadow of a parking structure, hoodie up, phone camera steady. Her hair was curled, lips painted deep red. She looked like a stranger. A beautiful, dangerous stranger. He arrived 5 minutes late. Black Mercedes. Aviators at night. That kind of man. Marcus. Tall. Clean-shaven. Expensive jacket and the confidence of someone who's never been told no. She smiled when she saw him. Not the half-hearted smiles she gave me lately. This one lit up her face. She walked straight into his arms like she belonged there. He kissed her cheek, then her neck. They walked inside the hotel like they'd done it before. Like this wasn't new. I followed from a distance, staying behind a group of tourists. Watched them laugh in the lobby. Watched him hand his card to the desk clerk. Room 1427. He didn't even flinch. The elevator doors closed behind them. She glanced over her shoulder once, like she felt something. But not enough to stop. I stayed in the lobby. Waited. Pacing near the elevators, pretending to check my phone. 30 minutes passed. I already had the room number. I already had the time. I wasn't here to confront her. Not yet. I was here to confirm. To see it with my own eyes. To let it burn deep enough that I'd never doubt myself again. I walked out of the hotel and circled around to the alley. The delivery door was propped open. A cart of linens and a distracted bellhop made my life easy. 15 minutes later, I was on the 14th floor, standing down the hall from 1427. I didn't get close. Just close enough. Music played faintly behind the door. Jazz. Laughter. A woman's voice. Hers. Then silence. The kind that means clothes are coming off. I snapped a photo of the door, just in case I needed it. Just in case anyone ever dared to doubt me. Then I turned and left. The next morning, she walked through our front door at 8:04 a.m. Hair messy. Makeup faded. Shoes in her hand. Early shoot, she mumbled, trying to tiptoe past me in the kitchen. I didn't look up from my coffee. Did it go well? She froze. just for a second, then smiled. Yeah, got some great content. I nodded slowly. Good. She walked to the bedroom, closed the door. I opened my phone, checked the message I got from an unknown number an hour earlier. Subject: you should know what she's doing. Attachment: 3 photos. One of her in the lobby, one of him at the desk, one of them entering room 1427. He's different, she texted Marcus. He makes me feel alive. The words sat on my screen like poison. I had copied her phone, a clone app, installed on her device 2 nights ago when she left it charging in the living room. Now every message, every photo, every deleted secret pinged to mine. She didn't know, and I wasn't about to tell her. Marcus replied, then do it. Leave him. Come stay with me. She didn't say no. She didn't even hesitate. Just typed, I'm thinking about it. That was all he needed. He sent her $3,000 that same night. Cash App. For your freedom, the note said. She hearted it. I watched it all unfold from my office desk. The same spot where I used to write thank you cards for her birthday. Where I once made a spreadsheet of baby names she said she liked. They texted constantly. Kayla, I hate pretending. Marcus, you won't have to much longer. Kayla, he still has no idea. He thinks I'm just stressed. LOL. The LOL stung more than it should have. I kept reading. She sent him pictures I'd never seen. Not even on her OnlyFans. Her in my dress shirts. Her in my bed, the sheets barely covering her. Her licking frosting off her fingers in our kitchen. Intimate. Domestic. Real. She didn't post these. These were private. Just for him. And he was obsessed. Tell me what you're wearing right now. When can I see you again? You're mine. Don't forget that. He called her baby. Queen. His future. She let him. No correction. No hesitation. I wasn't watching a fling. This wasn't a stupid mistake or some impulse she regretted. This was a slow betrayal. A methodical shift. One kiss, one lie, one wire transfer at a time. One message stopped me cold. Marcus, I checked flights. I can get you out of there. Today if you want. Kayla. And Ivy. Marcus. We'll figure it out. You said she liked me. Ivy. Our niece. She had brought him around my family. My sister's daughter. Had him playing uncle while I was at work. And then came the part that shattered everything. Kayla. Sometimes I imagine just disappearing. No more pretending. No more lies. Just you and me. Marcus. Then do it. Leave him. I sat there, numb, the cursor blinking at the bottom of the screen. She wasn't planning to confess. She was planning to vanish. I asked her if she was happy. Her eyes flickered. Just a fraction. Just enough. We were sitting on the couch. A movie playing, forgotten. She had her legs draped over mine. Her phone angled just slightly away from me like always. I'd been silent for most of the night. Not distant. Just watching. I leaned my head back against the cushion. Are you? She looked up. What? Happy. With us. That flicker again. A shadow behind her lashes. Of course, she said. Why would you ask that? I shrugged. You've been distant. Different. She laughed. Too quick. Noah, everyone gets tired. We've both been swamped. I'm just stressed. She always used that word. Like it explained away everything. Stress. From what? Content creation? I let the silence stretch. Watched her pretend not to squirm. You look great lately, I said. New skincare? Or is it the lighting? She smiled, unsure. Both, I guess. Maybe I should get into photography. You seem to have all the gear. She blinked, froze for half a second, then recovered. It's not mine. Alicia's still borrowing our place sometimes. For shoots. Right. Alicia, the ghost scapegoat of this whole charade. Want help setting up next time? That made her pause. She tilted her head, studied me. Help? With what? The lights. The camera stuff. I'd love to see what you're working on. Oh, it's not that interesting. Mostly product shots. Boring stuff. She was talking faster now, sipping wine between words. I smiled. Still, I'd like to be part of it. I miss doing things together. She looked at me then. Really looked. Like she was trying to decide how much I knew. Okay, she said finally. I'll let you help. Maybe next week. Maybe next never. The next night, she asked casually if I could help her carry the lighting case from the car. It's for a client shoot tomorrow, she said. I need to test angles. She laid the gear out in the living room. Ring lights. Tripod. Backdrops. I plugged in the softbox light. Watched her fumble through settings she should have known by heart. She looked uncomfortable, out of place in her own charade. Want me to stand in for a test shot? I offered. No, it's okay, she said quickly. Too quickly. I watched her set the timer. Press the shutter. She didn't smile. Didn't pose. She just stood there. Stiff. Like a stranger in her own house. The USB drive had one word written on it. Kayla. Black Sharpie. Block letters. Neat and final. I dropped it into the envelope with shaking fingers, sealed it with my thumb, and wrote the address in the center like I was writing a death sentence. To Pastor Greg and Marlene Whitaker, Kayla's parents. I didn't add a return address. Didn't need to. They'd know exactly who it came from once they saw what was inside. 3 videos. 1 chat log. A screenshot of her OnlyFans banner, and a saved PDF of a Cash App transaction labeled, "Thanks for last night." No edits. No commentary. Just the truth. I mailed it on a Thursday morning. Drove to a gas station 2 towns over and dropped it in the blue box outside. By the time I got home, Kayla was sipping a smoothie like she hadn't filmed porn in our bedroom 3 days earlier. Want one? She asked. I used that collagen powder you hate. I'll pass, I said, watching her scroll through her phone like nothing could ever touch her. She had no idea what was coming. That night, I couldn't sleep. Not because I felt guilty, but because I didn't. Her parents were pillars in their community. Devout. Conservative. They'd once told me over dinner that marriage was sacred and lust was the devil's trap. What would they say when they saw their daughter's trap in 4K? The next day passed in a blur. I went to work, drafted contracts, filed motions, all while checking my phone every hour, waiting for the detonation. It came during dinner. We were halfway through Thai takeout when her phone rang. Mom, she said, frowning. Weird. She never calls this late. She answered. Hey, what's? Silence. Then her entire body went still. The color drained from her face. Her mouth opened, but no words came out. She stood up from the table, walked out of the room. I followed. Mom, no, I don't know what you're talking about. That's not. I mean, those videos could be fake. People doctor things. She was pacing now, one hand on her forehead, voice cracking. Please don't tell Dad. Please. Please. I'll explain. Just let me come over. We can talk in person. She turned and saw me standing in the hallway. She froze. The phone trembled in her hand. Mom, I have to go. She hung up. We stared at each other in silence. Her eyes filled with tears. Did you? I didn't answer. She already knew. Are you insane? She screamed. You ruined my life. She was barefoot in the kitchen, mascara streaked down her cheeks, hair wild, phone clutched like a weapon. Her voice cracked with every word. Not because she was sad, because she was cornered. I didn't ruin your life, I said calmly. You just finally got caught living it. You sent that to my parents. To my church. My mom won't even look at me. They deserve to know. Know what? That I made a few videos? That I wanted something more than just being your wife and doing laundry? I stepped closer. You lied to everyone. To me. To them. You sold sex under a fake name and brought strangers into our home. That's not a few videos, Kayla. That's a goddamn business built on betrayal. She looked like she was about to throw the phone. You had no right. No right. I laughed, bitter. I gave you everything. And you gave Marcus a private show in the same bed we shared. You don't get to cry foul now. She was shaking. This was supposed to stay anonymous. No one was supposed to know. You didn't even try to hide it well. Because I didn't think I'd need to. Because I thought you'd never. She stopped herself. I waited. You thought I'd never look? I said. You thought I'd stay stupid and silent. Her breathing was fast now. The tears had dried into salt lines on her face. You could have just left. You didn't have to destroy me. You destroyed yourself. I just opened the curtain. She looked at me like she didn't recognize the man in front of her. You're a monster. I smiled. Just slightly. Monsters don't wear wedding rings. I turned and walked out of the kitchen. Left her there to stew in the mess she made. Then I sat at my desk, opened my laptop, and started typing. Reddit. Subreddit. r/off my chest title. My wife has a secret OnlyFans and I exposed her to her entire family. I laid it out. No names. No locations. But every brutal detail. The cheating, the double life, the fake identities, the money, the man, the USB. I attached screenshots. Her profile, Marcus's messages, the payment receipts. I hit post and went to bed. The next morning, I woke up to over 40,000 upvotes. My inbox was flooded. Support, rage, curiosity, a few trolls, but mostly people who had seen through their own partners because of my story. By noon, the post was viral. By 2 p.m., someone had traced her OnlyFans account. By 3 p.m., her name was trending. She lost 40,000 followers in 24 hours. 1 minute she was Kayla Lux, adored, untouchable. Her comment section flooded with fire emojis and queen gifs. The next, she was a pariah. Reddit detectives had found her. The screenshots went everywhere. Discord servers, reaction videos, screenshots on Twitter with captions like, "Married OnlyFans girl caught cheating. Husband posts receipts." And the comments? Brutal. Lying witch. Imagine doing this to someone who loved you. She belongs to the streets. She tried to fight it. Made her profile private. Deleted comments. Blocked by the dozens. But the internet doesn't forget. And it never sleeps. By the next morning, someone had posted a clip from one of her customs, the one she made for Ghost Rider 87, and slowed it down. Listen, the caption read. She says his name. Marcus. She's not acting. She came home from a walk that afternoon, sunglasses hiding her red eyes. Slammed the door. Threw her phone onto the kitchen table. It's all over. I didn't say a word. OnlyFans banned me, she said. They said I violated the terms. Someone reported me for non-consensual content. Said I filmed in a shared home. Without permission. I looked up. Did you? She didn't answer. You brought strangers into our apartment. You think they wouldn't push back the second things got uncomfortable? They were clients. I vetted them. Marcus. She flinched. He ghosted me, she whispered. Blocked me. No explanation. I raised my eyebrows. You thought he was your future. Turns out he was just another subscriber. She looked like she wanted to break something. This isn't fair. You ruined my life. No, I said. You just finally had to live in it. The next week was chaos. Her brand deals pulled out. Instagram flagged her account. TikTok wiped her profile. Fans turned on her. She called her mom. No answer. She called Marcus again. Straight to voicemail. She sat on the couch for hours, staring at nothing. Her phone buzzed once. A scam likely. I watched her unravel. The woman who built a kingdom out of lies had finally run out of walls. She opened the laptop. A paused video was on screen. Her, with Marcus. Her hand flew to the trackpad, tried to close it. But I was already standing behind her. Don't bother, I said. It's backed up in 3 places. She didn't turn around. Just stared at the screen. Frozen. How long have you known? She asked quietly. Long enough. She nodded once. Slow. Defeated. Why now? Why show me this now? I walked past her and sat on the edge of the couch. Because I wanted you to see it the way I saw it. From the outside. No filters. No angles. Just truth. She sank into the chair. Shoulders slumped. Eyes glassy. I didn't mean for it to get this far. But it did. I thought I could control it. Keep the 2 lives separate. I never planned to hurt you. You just planned to fuck someone else while living under my roof. Got it. She flinched. It wasn't like that. Wasn't it? She finally looked at me. What do you want from me, Noah? What more do you want? You've already destroyed me. No, I said. You're not even close to destroyed. Not yet. She blinked, tears forming. Please, don't go public with more. I'm begging you. My parents barely speak to me. I can't get work. I can't show my face anywhere. I let that sit. Watched her squirm. She used to hold all the cards. Now she was just trying to hold herself together. Too late, I said. Your parents already know. So do your friends. So do mine. Please. Just let me disappear quietly. I'll leave. You'll never have to see me again. You said the same thing to Marcus. Remember? Sometimes I imagine just disappearing. This is that. This is the disappearing part. She buried her face in her hands. You don't know what it's like. Feeling invisible. Stuck. Wanting more than just being someone's wife. Then you should have left before you became someone's lie. She looked up, mascara bleeding into her cheeks. So that's it. You're done? I nodded. Yeah, I'm done. Cliffhanger. He replies, too late. Your parents already know. I moved out while she was in the shower. She always took long showers. 20 minutes minimum. Enough time to pack the last bag, grab the folders from the filing cabinet, and leave the keys on the table by the door. I didn't slam it. I didn't even lock it behind me. I just left. I filed for divorce that same afternoon. The clerk asked me if I wanted to notify her by mail or in person. I chose both. She came home to an empty apartment. No couch, no TV, no framed wedding photo above the mantel. Just a single envelope with her name on it, placed where her ring used to sit. Inside, the divorce papers. And a note. No second life. No second chance. I stayed in a hotel that night. Slept better than I had in months. The next few days were quiet. No texts. No calls. I think she knew better by then. I changed my number. Closed our joint accounts. Moved the rest of my things to storage. Set up a P.O. box. I started walking different routes to work. Just in case. I didn't care where she went. Didn't care if Marcus came crawling back or if her parents finally forgave her. This part wasn't about revenge. It was about erasure. Removing her from every corner of my life. Every password. Every playlist. Every memory that used to feel warm. I blocked her on everything. But that didn't stop her from trying. 3 days after the papers landed, a call came through at the office. Unknown number. This is Noah. Silence. Then her voice. Shaky. Soft. You left without saying goodbye. Wasn't much left to say. I miss you. I didn't answer. Please, she whispered. Can we talk? Just once. I hung up. She called again the next day. And the next. Until one morning, I got a message from the front desk. There's a woman outside. Says she's your wife. She's crying. Holding something. Should we call security? She stood outside my office, crying, holding a pregnancy test. I watched her through the glass. She looked thinner, pale. Makeup smeared like she tried to fix it in the car and gave up halfway. Her hands were shaking. The test still in its box, unopened, like a threat she didn't want to face alone. I opened the door, but didn't let her in. What are you doing here, Kayla? Please, she whispered. I didn't know who else to go to. Try Marcus. Her lip trembled. He's gone. Blocked me. Disconnected his number. I think he left the city. I crossed my arms. What's in the box? She held it up like she was handing me something sacred. I'm late. Almost 2 weeks. I haven't told anyone. I didn't even take it yet. I couldn't. I need you. Why me? Because if it's not his, it might be yours. I stared at her. You want me to believe you don't know who the father is? She said nothing. You think a maybe baby is going to fix this? That I'm going to hold you while you cry and suddenly forget what you did? No, she said, voice cracking. I'm scared. And if it's yours, I'll raise it. I'll disappear. I just needed to know. Then take the test. She looked up at me, eyes wide. Now. Here. In the bathroom down the hall. She hesitated, then nodded. I handed her the key. 10 minutes later, she came back out. Pale. Silent. Held the stick out toward me like it weighed 1,000 pounds. Positive. I didn't blink. We'll get a DNA test. She nodded slowly. And if it's yours? We'll cross that bridge. And if it's not? I looked her dead in the eye. Then you'll never see me again. Marcus blocked me. He doesn't want the baby. She said it without crying. Without flinching. Just flat. Like the words had already beaten her senseless. We were in a coffee shop near the clinic. The DNA results had come in that morning. I hadn't opened them in front of her. I didn't need to. I take it you saw the results, I said. She nodded. It's his. Of course it was. She stirred her coffee like it meant something. Like it would fix something. He said it was a mistake. That he never signed up for this. He called me reckless. Said I tricked him. I didn't respond. He said I ruined his life. You did. Her hands trembled. She wiped them on a napkin, even though they were dry. I don't know what to do. Not my problem. She looked up at me, eyes hollow. You used to love me. I used to know who you were. Silence stretched between us. Then I pulled out my phone, opened the DNA result, forwarded it to Marcus, along with her address. What are you doing? She asked, panic creeping into her voice. Giving the father a chance to step up. Isn't that what you want? No, please. Don't involve him again. He's dangerous. You don't understand. I stood up. I understand perfectly. You made your choices. Now you live with them. She reached for my hand. I pulled it back. Good luck, Kayla. I never knew who I married, she wrote in her last post. It was a selfie. No makeup. Puffy eyes. Hair unwashed. The caption went viral in less than an hour. She deleted it 30 minutes later. Too late. Screenshots spread across every corner of the internet that once adored her. Reddit threads, Twitter circles, TikTok voiceovers dissecting her fall like it was a murder case. The queen of curated fantasies was now just another cautionary tale. Kayla disappeared after that, deleted her socials, scrubbed every trace of Kayla Lux from the internet. Even her Reddit alt was nuked. I watched it all from a distance. She never reached out again. Not after Marcus started showing up. Not after the police got involved. Not after she moved in with an aunt 2 states away. Sometimes, I wonder what she tells herself. That I was cruel? That I destroyed her? Or maybe, on her better days, she tells herself the truth. That I didn't destroy her. She did. One DM at a time. One secret at a time. One lie too many. I still walk past our old apartment sometimes. The lights are different now. A couple lives there. I see them cooking together through the window sometimes. Laughing. They don't know what happened in that space. The lies it held. The masks. But I do. And that's enough.